Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Love Our Life. Today we are doing some more Epic Universe construction updates, and we have a ton, so let's not waste any time. So come on and join me. As always, we want to thank BioReconstruct from all the photos here over on X, always providing great insight and great aerial shots of what's going on with the construction. In the last video, we talked about Dark Universe. All the details have been revealed for Dark Universe. So if you've not seen that video yet, make sure you check that out. I'll link it up here and down below for you guys to check out. But without further ado, let's get into it. And, speaking of Dark Universe, let's start with Dark Universe first, because I think that's the most important thing, right? Let's talk about it. Okay, so here in this aerial photo here of Darkmoor, the village in Dark Universe. So you can see some things are going on here. They're still doing some work here, getting some things straightened out, ready to go for Darkmoor. More paint being applied, everything like that. So it's pretty crazy what they're doing here. But let's keep going here. We do have aerial photo of the gravestone lined walkway where guests enter Darkmoor village. So as you walk in, you're going to see like all these tombstones around and stuff like that, which is pretty cool that they're doing that. I think that's pretty amazing that they're getting all this lined up and everything. But what's really interesting is it's not, I don't think it's going to be quite a bottleneck. I think it's going to be kind of more open than that, so which is really good. You can actually see here's a crypt the guests will see when entering Dark Universe. If you checked out the last video, there's a flyover. As soon as you walk in, this will be to your left. The little crypt will be to your left, and you walk around that as you go through. So keep that in mind as well, because that one it's pretty amazing. It looks really good. Some of these we're just going to go through really quick. We have the Kronos to talk about. Now, keep in mind this photo, okay? So this photo is, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because there's a piece, if you can see right here, that has to go up. Above it, right here to the right. Now keep that in mind because we will save the Kronos. I think we're going to save that for last. And here is an aerial overview of the whole land. Everything going on. Look how much stuff is going on here in this photo. There is a lot of stuff. We have Dark Universe here at the bottom left. And then we have the Celestial Carousel in the middle. Stardust Racers at the top. Helios, Grand Helios to the left, Super Nintendo to the right, and How to Train Your Dragon at the top right, kind of diagonal wise, right up there. So that is looking good there. So here's just an aerial shot I just wanted to show real quick of the cranes going into Isle Berk. Now, we're not going to spend a lot of time on Dark Universe today because Dark Universe, pretty much took over our last video. But I do want to show you a few things here. Here is the manor, the Frankenstein manor, being constructed, of course. This is the brand new Frankenstein ride that we learned about in the last video. Here is the portal here, aerial overview of the portal. Of course, there's a few things that still need to be done to this. Not everything is finished. There's some added pieces that need to go on here. And then once that's done, of course, it'll be done, right? But still some things to go on here that we need to eventually, hopefully, show here very soon. Here's Burning Blade Tavern, which is officially named now. Universal named all that. Gave all those details, which was nice the other day. And it's going to serve some pretzels, some burgers, wings, stuff like that. That'll be cool to see here. And also there's going to be hunters walking around talking to you about how they killed certain monsters and stuff like that. So it's going to be really cool. Pretty much monster hunters, you know. And also here at Frankenstein Manor, here is some of the little spires here at the top that are being added for recent architecture in here, which looks good. So just more being done to the Darkmoor village here. Not a ton has changed. There's just more pieces added. It's looking great. You guys know this is like something that I'm really looking forward to, and I can't wait for this to come to fruition, because I think this is going to be pretty amazing once they're done with it. And then here's an aerial look at the areas in front of Frankenstein Manor. Protective plywood is temporarily on the pavement over here, so they can protect the pavement below, obviously. A back of house gate is at the left here of the photo, so you can kind of see that right there. Here at the bottom where you go through there. So, and here is the well we've been talking about for weeks. Now, we did see in the concept video that it had like some red fog coming out of it. Is it just red fog? Is it blood? What is it? I don't know. But it looks really cool. So this obviously has a few more things to be added to it for it to be completely done and to look good overall. And one more aerial photo, and then we'll move on from Dark Universe here. This is just showing the entrance here at the top is where you'll walk in. You come through here, kind of turn around. That's where that Darkmoor sign is going to be. On this little piece that's the ledge is sticking out right here. That's where that will be. Then you'll walk right through here and then onto the little, there's like a little Kronos, I forget what it's called, to the left. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's what it is, but like a little shop there to the left. And then you'll continue to walk through here, obviously, to get to the attractions there. So, I lied. One more. Here's an aerial look at the entrance of the Monsters Unchained. You can see the Frankenstein name has been added to the front of the gate. That was not there before. It is there now, and that is looking really cool. I cannot wait for this. I'm really excited for this attraction. The way that they described it is new technology that they had to develop. So it's like animatronics mixed with maybe screens. I don't know, but I know animatronics are going to play into this, which is really cool. I'm glad that they're doing that, because I feel like the screen thing, I don't really buy it as much. I mean, animatronics, you know, sometimes aren't very realistic, but from what we've seen in the video that they showed, the Wolfman animatronic looks pretty real. So we'll have to see. Okay, moving along. One more for you guys, because I know how much you love Dark Universe. And I do too. Trust me. It's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Aerial photo of the current work at the Frankenstein Manor here in Dark Universe. So you can see everything being lined up here. They still have scaffolding they have to remove and take down. But we're getting closer and closer. They're still at the top of the spire that they have to do there. So they have to get that adjusted and ready to go. But everything else other than that, I mean, I think is looking pretty good overall. I just I think what they're going to do is probably have that start working on that part next and trying to get that done. I think that's what they're probably going to do, but we'll have to see, because they just keep, you know, excuse me, they keep working on this and bringing it to fruition and making it go faster. Like every time that they update something, or every time we have an update, there's something that they've just worked on that's gone so much faster than expected. So who knows at this point what we're going to see and how fast it'll be done. But I think overall, I think we're going to get some really cool updates really soon. We had talked about like 2 or 3 months ago, like imagine what it's going to look like in 6 months. Well, forget 6 months. Let's see what it's going to look like in like 2 months, because it's going to be crazy. We're going to have to do a video where we go back and talk about where we started with these videos and then where we're at towards the end right before it opens. I think that'll be a really interesting video to do and a lot of fun. But let's keep moving on, and let's talk about this. Here is a aerial photo of the work so far of the entrance of Epic Universe. Lush landscape here at the bottom, continues to be planted. Colorful pavement has protective covering. So they're putting all this together, making it look good. So, obviously the walkway and where you're going to walk in isn't going to just be something that's just plain Jane. It's going to be nice and beautiful and look illustrious, like you want to walk into there. So they still have stuff to put up. Obviously, they still have stuff to do here, but I mean, just from what we're getting here, here's a little higher photo here for you guys to see. Now this does look like, if I were going to guess, now I don't know every single detail of this. Well, I have studied some of the photos, obviously, from before. But here's the thing. To the left, I believe this is where the buses are going to go in. Right here to the left. And then this is where day guests at the bottom will walk in. So if you're being transported by the bus, I think this is where this is going to drop you off. Maybe even Uber, maybe. But down here at the bottom of the photo, I believe that's where you will walk up and go into Epic Universe right there. So, parking lot looks pretty big to me. So, someone was asking me the other day if I think they're going to do trams. I don't think they're going to do trams. I just don't think that's going to happen. So here's a look at the Kronos before we get to the photo later. Like I said, we'll save that for the end of the video. But looking good. They have that extra piece down there, so keep that in mind for that extra piece. And here's something really interesting. Can you see the old school Mario in the little medallion right there? It's the top medallion there. Look at him. And then the one underneath that is a dragon. And the one underneath that is purple. And we know purple has been associated with Dark Universe, so I don't know. Could that be it? Here's another look at it. I mean, I know we're going to show the photo later, but I just wanted to show you guys where this is at this point. This was a few days ago. And then Bio just put out a new photo this morning that I'll show you at the end. But, I mean, it looks incredible. Now, some of these yellow pieces that are here, they will be removed. These are just for putting things together, so it's not going to have that ugly like yellow there. That'll be removed later. At a later date. Now, going back on the other side of this, this is standing outside the park looking into the park. Here is the Celestial Park right behind it. They're working on getting stuff done. You can see trees have started to be planted. They're making their water features, getting everything going great here. But this is so cool. This is awesome. All right, not going to spend a lot of time on the front entrance because there's stuff I want to show. But look at this photo here. In this photo, we have 4 or 5 different things going on here. But I wanted to point these out and show you guys what these are. Number 1 is sand accumulation in the pond. You can see some sand that's gone to the pond. Obviously, they're going to clean that out. Number 2 is current work at a pair of restaurants. Number 3, paved bridges at a cascading water feature. 4 is active concrete pour, unpaved bridge. And then 5, protective coverings on colorful concrete patterns over here. So that kind of covers our front entrance and stuff like that. We still have more to talk about. Here's a couple of reference photos. I just wanted to show these really quick because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is in the Harry Potter world or Ministry of Magic. And here is the actual photo here. And here is the model, the 3D model that you can see out at the Epic Universe Preview Center. Back and forth there. Looks great. And then here is another look here, just kind of give you an idea of what things are going to look like here. And then if you flip over, That's what it's going to look like when it's finished. So kind of give you an idea there of what the little walkway is right there and how that's going to look. So it's going to be incredible once they're done. And we need to go through all these and talk about these. But here's some Harry Potter stuff that's coming up that we need to cover really quickly. This is an aerial photo with the details of a recently revealed facade in the Harry Potter world. If you zoom in, you can see music notes. So if you see at the bottom, the yellow right here, there's music notes right there. So that is really cool that they are lining that up and just adding to the theming. The theming is, I think, so on point that it's just insane how good the theming has been so far. Here's a further photo away. Here, looking at this blue building to the left here. That's I can't quite make that out. But you can see the blue building. The yellow one we were just talking about there, it's to the right. In the middle here, just more theming being added to all these buildings. Very similar to Diagon Alley. As far as like words on the buildings and stuff like that. That is one of my favorite things, like in Diagon Alley, is when you turn around and you look out and you see the big pumpkin juice ad or whatever that's right there. That's one of my favorite things in Diagon Alley. It just adds to the theming. It adds to the ambiance of the actual land itself. Here's another photo here showing this. They're still working over here. The construction guys are over here working at the top. Now, this is the entrance to the Ministry of Magic that they're working on. The exit might be doorways at the center. So where the blue is right there, that could be the exit to the Ministry of Magic. Not sure, though. We are unsure of that. Here they are still working at the entrance here of the Ministry of Magic. Looking good. Everything's lined up here. And they got more theming on the buildings over here to the right. Some more words there. I believe over here to the left is where the little statue is going to go. Pretty sure. See, they're working on that there. And yes, okay, so that is the same area. So this photo to the left here is what's actually going on, obviously. And then to the right is the 3D rendering model that's being done. So you can see the little woman fountain there. One more aerial here of that same area here. At the right of the frame is a tinted entrance of the circus, or of the attraction, the Circus Arcanus. So we've seen that in the concept art that we just showed you guys. That's where the actual tent is going to go there. And then it'll obviously be projected up, which we'll show right here. So take a look at that last photo. Come back to this one. This is where the actual tent is going to be. So here at the middle, Quidditch there in the middle, and then the little tent area to the left. I think, until we saw this at the preview center, I was not that excited about this area, but now that I've seen it in person, I think that it's pretty incredible looking. There's that again, and then here's this again. So you can kind of compare the two of what that's going to look like there. Now, is that drawing in? No, it is not. So look at the building here. See how it has the griffin over here on that? If you look at this concept art, he's not on that. So it'd be a little, just a little different than the concept art, just by a little bit, but not a heck of a huge difference. Here's some more streets here in Ministry of Magic. This is just looking standard. I mean, they're still working on all this kind of stuff. There might be restrooms over here or something like that. Here's kind of what it's going to look like when it's finished, according to the preview center. Some nice big golden trees over there. With palm trees in the background. See, you gotta have those palm trees back there. And here is a huge overlook of the full-size Paris streets. Just everything going on there. And obviously, this is looking really good. Now, to the right, I want to point out something to the right. There is it looks like a water tower kind of thing. This is going to be like a big bell tower that's at the back. And that, you saw that in the concept art. This is just sticking out above everything else. So that obviously gives it the illusion of forced perspective, obviously, of how that's going to work. So forced perspective is if you have something closer or further away from the camera, it looks bigger or smaller than it is. So that is part of what that is right there, for that little water tower area. And here we have a tree-filled portal of the Wizarding World Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. So we talked about this before. You're going to walk in through the portal here, and once you do, you're going to be greeted by trees to give the illusion that you're walking through this area. So then once you walk through the portal, you'll see trees, and you'll go to your left or you'll go to your right and come around, and then that's when the big reveal of Saint Denis will be right there. So pretty incredible stuff. And if I had thought about it, I would have shown you this photo while I was describing that. But see, you can go to the left, you can go to the right, past these trees. So once you walk in, you won't probably be able to see it. I mean, you'll probably see a glimpse of it through the tree, like you're peeking out through the tree, kind of thing. But then once you walk through, it'll be boom, right there in front of you. So great photo by BioReconstruct there to give that through Port Saint Denis. Of course, we have more stuff to talk about. We have Celestial Park we need to get to as well. Here is, outside of that, there's a restaurant here to the left. And then just real quick, here is the big archway you're going to walk through. But what's interesting about this archway is at the back of it, it's going to have this big eagle, griffin looking thing, whatever it is. For some reason, the first time I saw it, I thought it was a moose. I don't know why I thought it was a moose, but oh my gosh. Both times I've been to the preview center, I've been there 3 times now. I have not had a ton of time. We could go do a live stream from the Epic Universe Preview Center sometime this week. That might be kind of fun. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Scaffolding line in the street in Harry Potter World. Recently cast concrete pavement is protected from damage, so they don't have to worry about, replacing everything there. But one more photo here and then we'll move on, because this is just an aerial overview of everything. Here's that little tower I was telling you about, the little bell tower to the left there. That stretches out over top of it, so it looks like it's, so it's not a huge area. I mean, it looks decently sized, but it's not a huge area. It is what it is, but it's still going to be cool. I think it's going to be pretty crowded. I feel like every Harry Potter section that we have is obviously crowded, but it's also like a bottleneck. I feel like you're going to really get that here. Diagon Alley, you get it. Hogsmeade, you get it. I feel like Hogsmeade is a little easier to navigate at times when it comes to crowds, just because in Diagon Alley, everybody stops at the entrance to see the dragon. So maybe we won't have that issue here, but I'm sure we will. I'm sure there'll be something. Okay, now we gotta start talking about everything else going on. Now, at the bottom of the photo, we have the Celestial Carousel. If you notice, there's some panels on that. We will get back to that in a minute, but I did want to show you here aerial photo outside of Super Nintendo World. Nintendo Store at the center, and Pizza Moon is to the right. You guys know that we're looking forward to Pizza Moon. It could be really crappy pizza. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it's going to be really crappy pizza. I think it's going to be great. And here is a look at the portal. More stuff is being done here for Super Nintendo World. We still got the little flags that are going to go up here, but you can actually see the portal itself centered around there. They're actually starting to do some work on that. It's starting to look like the other ones. This will be the last one that they finish, obviously. But they still have some work to do. Aerial photo here of the Donkey Kong Minecart Madness car in a cloaking device. The actual ride track is sideways underneath. Nearby is a pair of green screaming pillars. So, yep, look at that. That is so cool. And you can't really see many details on that there, but it is there for you to see. And as he's pointing out, the track is under, like, to the left of that. It's on the sideways there, or the right of it. So that's pretty wild, man. That is pretty wild. That's gonna be so cool. While I'm looking forward to everything else, I'm really looking forward to this attraction. Like, this might be the #1 attraction I'm looking forward to, and Land is Dark Universe. But aerial peak of Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, arrows at cables holding the car in place. Actual track is sideways, the sideways truss, also seen in a pair of screaming pillars there, so you can see a little bit more of the cart itself, the brown cart there, with the track to the side there. So it's like they said, it's holding it in place with the cables there so they can work on what they need to work on there. Aerial photo here of the actual area where it comes out here. The cart will splash through a water feature. At the bottom center of the ride car is a cloaking device suspended by cables, so they have everything there to, you know, kind of cover it up or whatever. We have heard that this has been testing. I have not seen it yet. I need to go back out there to the area and look, but this is a high banked hairpin turn in the Donkey Kong coaster. Turn right there. Hairpin turn. That'd be really cool. And we're getting some more stuff here. This little tiki hut looking thing is starting to come together more structure. It's still like a silver looking area here, but they're still working on getting all that done and ready. Over top here we have more stuff. Mount Beanpole to our left. Here is an overview of Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, and how everything is looking here. So there is something I haven't noticed. Look at that at the top, in the middle of the photo, right below the barrel, there is a banana. How cool is that? That looks awesome. The little banana there. There's a tree that needs to have some theming done to it too. I'm sure it'll be either green or maybe it'll be the same tan color, but most likely it'll be green. But you can see everything here. We've spent so much time on this coaster. To really see it starting to be painted and come together is phenomenal to see. I mean, it just, you know, it looks almost done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just looks so close. Obviously, scaffolding needs to be removed. They gotta do some other stuff here too. But also, here's some other things here I wanted to show you here. Here, where there's a tarp, where some things are being painted. But here's one of the jumps. That's what it looks like here. So, it just looks like you're about to jump off into these little spikes. So it's gonna look like you're just going whoop over the spikes. It's gonna be amazing. Someone's comment says interactive drums at the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. You remember the Donkey Konga game? I don't know if it's called Donkey Konga, but that was the song that I always played. It was like Donkey Jungle Beat or something like that, and you'd use the little congas to beat. It could be kind of cool. Kind of like they have at Pandora or Animal Kingdom. Another photo here. There's a little further away from that jump there. Here's the wall that I kept swearing that was going to be painted. It's not going to be painted. The official Epic Universe Preview Center model shows this being this gray color, so it's going to stay that way. It's probably going to bother me at the actual park itself, but okay, so now we're getting more stuff here with the Donkey Kong face here in the top of the photo here. You can see it's starting to form. Scaffolding still going on here, but this is the top of the coaster here. Now, let's do a reference photo. Here is where you are actually going to enter Donkey Kong Country. Right here where this hole is at. And then right over here where all this scaffolding's up, it's going to be a plane. So let's take a look at that. Then take a look at this. This is what it's going to look like here. So Funky's Fly and Bus, something like that. So that's going to be the entrance of it, and then of course right here, that's what it's going to look like. So just for reference, BioReconstruct did awesome on these photos. Thank you so much, man. Look at this. And here is the scaffolding going up for the plane. Funky's Fly and Buy. That's what it's called. Fly and Buy. I couldn't quite make it out from the photo. It seems like the framing is for mesh and the shop exterior will be sculpted into concrete. It looks good. Here's another photo here to show you this kind of reference here where you go out. Now there's going to be double doors here to the left where that framing is. So there's like big double doors according to that photo right here. You can see that with the palm trees there and everything. So looks really good. Here is a little aerial overview of Super Nintendo World. We got the Yoshis out, Mount Beanpole going on here. Everything looking great. Still some stuff going on over here at Bowser's Castle over to the left. They have the feet. I don't think the feet are completely done. We don't have a Bowser face yet. We know that's coming. We do not have Bowser's face yet. So we're going to spend a little time in here. Here's a new character added here. A Pokey right here by the Yoshi attraction that you'll pass by. That's new. Brand new. That wasn't there before. So now we have that. And here's another view of this a little further back here. But here is a reference photo also for you guys to see here of what that's going to look like from the other side. So yeah, I would love to take one of those little Yoshis home. That would be cool to have one. Obviously we've got some things going on in there too, so that looks good there. And then we have this coming along here, which looks good. It's the top of the photo going through there, and it comes back through here. It goes through the little whole area there. Guy's working on stuff to the right there too. And here's kind of a look here. This is a really good reference from Bio. Here is Mount Beanpole to the left. And then to the right, there's some other stuff here. I believe this is, yeah, where you enter in from the right there. But take a look at this photo here. Boom. That's what it's going to look like. The one-up factory right there at the bottom with everything else going on there. So really great job that Reconstruct did for these. So awesome how everything's going to look. We don't have lighting poles yet. Obviously those will come. Those will be there. Some things may or may not be altered. You can kind of see in this photo and then going back how it's slightly different. Like you're talking about the one-up bar here, or the mystery box bar, the longer one. It's not there in the actual model up top. I'm not talking about the one that's on the yellow and red. It's behind that. going back there. So obviously the little things are in place for the 1-up bar to go there. So they still have to paint that and go back and forth. So much, man. There's just so much more Yoshi going on here. Let's see. Arrow is at a green test platform that spans between the Yoshi and the ride. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like when it's finished and done. Pretty much. The accuracy level of this, let me just stop for a second. I saw someone online the other day that was saying that Universal doesn't keep up with their concept art. But everything that I have seen, like going back to even Diagon Alley, Universal has kept up with their art. Like, it always looks pretty spot on. There's a couple of changes here and there. Pretty much most of the time, everything is pretty much spot on. Just saying. Okay, here's an aerial photo of the current work at Peach's Castle. Looking good. Still some more to be done here. I mean, there's just so much more to be done in there. So, work of progress in Peach's Castle, Super Nintendo World there. The courtyard area, not much has been done here. There's still a lot to get done. Some stuff going on here at Bowser's Fortress. We have some added layers and added elements to this, but nothing that's like wild and, you know, really there. I mean, some things are definitely there, obviously, but they're not. It's not finished. I mean, they still have a lot to do, and it's going to take time for them to do all this. So I want to talk about Bowser's Fortress here, the front of it. Still no Bowser face here. We know that's probably going to be one of the last things that happens over here. There's so much more. To the right where the little M is, that is where the actual entrance is going to be to the Mario Kart attraction as well, if you did not know. And then here's another view here of the Donkey Kong Minecart Madness in the foreground or the background, and Mount Beanpole in the foreground here. So kind of showing you how everything kind of just connects right there. Looking good. Looks really good. So now we're going to move on to the Isle of Berk. We're going to spend some time here for just a little bit. So here is an aerial photo of the mountain peak in the Isle of Berk with Gothi's hut at the top. At the left, staging for theming for the water shooter boat ride. Here to the top here. I feel like there's a few things that we need to cover here. Some really cool small details that we need to talk about in these. At the center of the photo is a tarp-covered boat. Boats to the shooter ride. Top right is a tarp-covered train of Hiccup's wing gliders. You can see that there. The trees hiding the back of house from the untrainable dragon over here to the left. So you want to be able to see the back of a house for untrainable dragon. Where they bring the dragons in. Pretty much. Okay. So yeah, there's the tree line there to the left, and then there's going to be the entrance right here to the theater here with the mead hall at the bottom of the photo there. So some important things here to note. Here at the center of the photo here at the Frodo is a frame for tents over the queue of the fire drill boat ride in Island Berk. Trees help hide the ride service areas and stuff like that. Backing it up just a little bit, Mead Hall dining entrance with the Vikings at the top left, fire drill water shooter boat ride at the right. So they've not been painted, not been themed yet. We know that's going to come. If it does come, they might just stay that color. I don't know. I really need to go look at this. This section, looking at it at the preview center, is the one that I've looked at the least. So I probably need to go back and look at that a little more thoroughly when I do that. But I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, you can't, you know, I guess you could spend a ton of time in there. I just have not had a ton of time to spend in there from that. Here's fire drill here. Some more theming elements being added here. Themed as practice for putting out fires accidentally caused by dragons. So you can see the little flames being added here to the little trees and stuff like that. But just more theming that's been added that wasn't there before. With a huge water bucket up here. Looks like. So maybe if you shoot certain things, that'll pop out some water there. And just more theming along the sides here. You can see the little tarps up there. Everything. So we gotta spend some time here. So we're gonna spend some time. So this looks like there's some more trees that are going to be added with flames on there. So they will add those whenever they can and when they get to it. Number 1 here is a reach tester. Assures that theming is out of reach of guests. Scooted along the edges of the boat though. Staging of number 2 is staging of targets for the water shooter ride. Number 3, dining area near the Spitfire grill right there. So it's all looking good. I'm gonna keep going on here. Here is the Spitfire grill in the Isle of Berk. You can see theming being added to it. Hasn't been painted yet, but obviously theming has been added to it and they're going to work on this and get it done. Different area here. The rebar is in place for a concrete pour. So they're going to put the concrete down there. At the right is some recently paved areas. So everything's looking good here, but there's what I wanted to show you. This is kind of reference of what, this is obviously the water from the rain, but it kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So you're going to be able to walk up pretty close. Now at one point there was like these other bars like in the concept art, or not concept art, but the model. I don't know if those are going to be there. I feel like that's too restrictive. So obviously you're going to be able to walk up, take your photo right there with the Vikings, right? And here is a look at these guys, the Viking statues, looking good. And you know what? They're going to have flames coming out of them. That is awesome. They're going to be standing on a dragon that's got a flame coming out of it. That is pretty cool. But here's what I really wanted to get to here. Let's go here. We have so much. There's just so much, man. I mean, there's just... When I start looking through these, I'm like, this is insane. Here's the training camp. Nothing's really been done over here. I mean, a few things obviously been done. That would be, sorry, a disservice to those that are working on it, because there has been some things done. But here's what I want to talk about. Hiccup's wing glider here. So we got some stuff to talk about here. Now, here's some dragon eggs. We've talked about the dragon eggs before, but they are actually being painted and themed. And you can see one is cracked open here to the right. And they're continuing to work on that. And one's got a hole in it. The guy looks like he's looking in here. What's in there? And here's an aerial photo of the grandstands with the wing, Hiccup's wing glider coaster, which will go right underneath that there. And the Dragon Racer Rally to the left here. You can see the red dragon at the top of the photo. But what was really interesting and what was added to this is this. This is, looks to be Hiccup, animatronic Hiccup. Now, from what I can tell, looking into this here, oh, sorry, wrong photo. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so this is where the large area where the rocks are dropped. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. The Hiccup here itself looks like a Hiccup animatronic to me. Pretty sure that's what that is. So this next photo here is an aerial theming of the first launch of Hiccup's wing gliders, as if large rocks are dropped in the propel train. So Hiccup will be down here in this area here, I believe. Over there to the right. But we can't talk about Hiccup without talking about somebody else. Here's another idea here, or idea of what it looks like propelled a train coaster here, or coaster train. Here in the red, in this photo, is Toothless covered up. So we're going to get Toothless. Aerial photo of Toothless under protective covering inside the first launch of Hiccup's wing gliders. So this is the first launch. Pretty awesome. That is really cool to look at and to see. Now maybe they'll uncover him for one of these photos soon. We'll see him really soon, maybe. But that is looking good. And now we got to talk about this real quick. Let's just talk about this. This was January or June of last year, 2023. Looks like such a little baby park. Nothing was hardly done. It seemed like some things here and there. But look at all this. This is June 21st. Oh, the universal turnaround on these things are just amazing. It's so awesome how they do this. I love it. Alright, so now we're going to move on to some things here. We're going to talk about some things. Let's talk about this real quick. Here's the Stella Nova and Terra Luna, and this is the back of a Terra Luna. It's still being themed with the tiles here. Here's the look here at the work here at Terra Luna. Back at the back of house here. Pool side right there. That's a cool looking pool, man. And then here's Stella Nova. There are now at the bottom here, you can see some palm trees being planted, which looks good. Parking lot being done back there, which I have not seen yet. And if this is your first time, the Stella Nova and Terra Luna, those are the actual hotels that are going here in front of, or at the back of the park, technically, in the park area. Here's a look at the Grand Helios. We're not going to spend a lot of time on Grand Helios today because we've been covering that quite a bit. It looks great. It's starting to come together. More pieces, more theming added. The dome in the middle is not finished yet. It should be done soon, hopefully. We will see. And then some pool construction going on at the Grand Helios. And continue to finish this. That we continue to talk about this over and over. And then, of course, copper color roofing is underway above the top floor of the ballroom at the left of this aerial photo here. So you can see where he's working on that there over to the left there. And one more here and we'll move on. Aerial look at Celestial Gardens and development at the base of the Grand Helios Hotel, including concrete forms for a star in a walkway pavement here to the left there. At the right, roofing is underway for the, I don't know what that word is. I'm not even going to try to say it because it might sound inappropriate or just wrong. But I'm not even going to say it. Okay. And then here is a look at the portico here at the top here, covering that. That's pretty cool. So, overall, Grand Helios is looking good. Overall photo of the actual land itself continues to look good. We just have so much to continue to talk about. So let's move on from that and move on to talk about some Celestial Carousel kind of stuff. Now we do have some Starfall Racers stuff here, but there's not a lot. Celestial Carousel to the bottom right here. I call it Starfall Racers. It's Stardust Racers now. It's going to take me forever to get used to that. Stardust Racers. There we go. Okay, that's a lot better. So you can see some of the theming being done here. The fountain, just more things added. There's not a whole lot to talk about here. What I really want to talk about is the fact, even though Stardust Racers is something everyone's looking forward to, but here's one thing I want to point out about that is Bio kind of showed this, that in the extended queue area there was a lot of flooding. You can see this back here. That's something they probably are aware of. He put hashtag Ask Universal. They didn't respond because I just don't think they're going to respond to that. I mean, you know, they're going to want to get it fixed themselves. But just theming overall, here's a look at the ride vehicles in the loading station or at the back here. Actually, this is the ride maintenance area right here. Okay. Just kind of sitting there. Moving along. So, this is what I want to talk about. The Celestial Carousel. Now, more theming is being added. We had seen that one piece had been added before, but now more theming is being added, which looks really good. I'm glad that they're doing this and adding it to it. Okay, so a few things to point out about this photo here. Number 1 and 2. This is the foundation and structure that will be the marquee here. And then number 3 is crates containing roof panels. So we got more roof panels going on. Probably about another week, this thing might be completely full of panels. Number 4, multiple tiers of scaffolding for work access of the roof and ceiling. 5 and 6, permanent fencing at stairs to underground service areas. So, just so much going on here. This is a look at the high density foam blocks being placed around the wall of the pond. And look at that. Foam blocks being placed along the pond of the Celestial Carousel as a substitute for the weight pressure of sand/soil at the wall. Looks good to me. Looks really good. And then here is a look at the show fountain here as well. More stuff being done to this. Rocks being painted. Theming being done. You're going to be able to sit here and watch this amazing show. I'm sure it's going to be awesome once they are finished with it. It's going to look really good. So one quick thing. Here is the Pan Asian, Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant being done. This is the first time I've seen this. I didn't even know this was in here. Here's a look at it here. And here is a look at the reference photo from the model. Looks pretty incredible. I completely missed this. I've got to go back and look at all these. But yeah, so there it is right there. Is this the first time Universal's done an Asian restaurant? I don't know. It might be. Can't think of anything off the top of my head right now for this, but uh-oh. Ladies rejoicing, just ladies, I'm just joking. Aerial photo of what is believed to be a Starbucks in Epic Universe. That's the first I'm hearing about that. Which I kind of figured there would be one. There's one at each park already, so that is pretty cool. Isn't it crazy how we have Starbucks in every theme park almost? at least here in Orlando, we have Starbucks in every one of them. Well, I don't know if Fun Spot has one. I don't think so. But SeaWorld, Universal, both Universal parks, Islands and Universal Studios, and then all 4 Disney parks have, yeah, all 4 have Starbucks. So, kind of crazy. Aerial photo of Oak and Star Tavern, a walkway through Celestial Park at the left here. It's gonna be cool. Now, I'd heard this is like a barbecue themed restaurant, I believe. So, yeah, get your barbecue fix. Hopefully, they have barbecue loaded fries. We'll see. And here's an aerial photo of the Meteor Astro Pub. I can't wait to eat there. They better have pretzel bites with like beer cheese. That would be awesome. Okay. Splash pad area here at the Celestial Carousel. We're kind of winding down now, just kind of looking at some of the photos that, you know, we want to kind of look at and get in here. And then aerial photo of the Atlantic restaurant. Looking good as always. This thing, I can't wait to eat here. Some good old seafood. Just give me a Admiral's Feast. That's all I want, right? Aerial photo of the entrance side of the Atlantic restaurant. Walkway under construction at the center continues on the west side of Celestial Park to a colorful star pavement at the base of Grand Helios. A similar perimeter walkway will be on the east side. Okay. That's pretty cool. Some of these are just details, of course, that are just coming along, you know, like they're just coming together. And look at that. Look at that. That just looks amazing. Beautiful. Everything being done. Guys, we are less than a year away. We are less than a year away. I don't think it's going to be summer. I think it's going to be like March through May, and we're going to get it. I really believe that. Here's another look here at the fountain and the Celestial Carousel with theming being added and done, which is looking just so good. I mean, and we have some aerial stuff here as well. Let's just take a look at this one before we get to the big photo I wanted to show you guys. Look at that. Just everything here. We have top movements of the Kronos entrance, colorful roof panels of Celestial Carousel in progress, fanciful targets being added to the fire drill, colorful Paris facades revealed at Harry Potter. So that's what we've covered today. It's like almost BioReconstruct knew we were going to make this video and just made it a lot easier on me. But yeah, so overall, we have so much to look forward to with this park. You know, things being finished and done and added to it. Obviously, there's just so much that continues to be done with this. It just continues to make progress very fast. Universal's very good at doing things fast. They don't take 5 years for a fountain. I mean, they don't. It's just they've moved so quickly. So, before I head out, I wanted to show you this real quick. Here is the Kronos. The extra piece we talked about earlier, added to it. Current height of the Kronos. The tower is above the portal in the Epic Universe. Concept art shows that a slight dome will be at the top. So we have a little more to go. Just a little more. The bright yellow areas are temporary, like we talked about before, including clamp type devices at the sides. So all that's coming off. But look at this. This just looks amazing. So we have a little bit more to go. The dome at the top. And it'll be that'll be done. Obviously the portal itself at the bottom still has some things that it needs to have happen and be done. But you can see Mario there. You can see the dragon. You can see the purple down at the bottom. The one above that, probably Ministry of Magic. I'm not sure. But you can see all that. And it looks incredible. It just looks really good. And I wanted to save that for last because the Kronos is the first thing you're going to see when you get there. It's the first thing you're going to witness and walk through that big portal. And it's going to look so good. I mean, it looks amazing now. So adding that dome there to the top, a little bit more to the top there. And then that will be it. That'll be done. Here's a couple more photos he added this morning. Look at that. That looks so good. Oh, I just want to live there. I don't want to leave. I just want to live there and never leave. Here's top here at the theming here. Still hasn't been done yet. So this was the photos we looked at were from like 2 days ago. This is from this morning. Obviously you can tell it's this morning or it's yesterday morning, and ending off with the Grand Helios today. A lounge is underneath the dome. Windows towards Universal Studios, Florida. So looking out towards Universal. But pretty incredible stuff today. A lot to cover. These videos just keep getting longer and longer and longer. I'm sure before this whole thing is over with, we're going to reach a 2-hour video. I know you guys are, some of you are like, oh, I like the shorter ones. And a lot of you guys have been coming out saying, no, continue to do the longer ones. So as long as you guys like the longer videos, I'm going to continue to do them. I enjoy doing them and coming here each week and talking about it. It's a lot of fun and I enjoy it. But thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today on this fun little adventure talking about Epic Universe. It's just amazing. But we have so much to do, so much to go, so much to talk about. I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button and the notification bell so you know when our next video is coming out. And remember, the road goes ever on. I will see you next time.